Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day, my oh my, it is Thursday, 4th day of June, 2026. I am Dan Kuntz, your host. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Very pleasant day today. Mother Nature's going to give us some pretty good stuff. That's going to start changing tonight. We're going to have bountiful sunshine into the forecast weekend. Significant cool down on Saturday and Sunday, well below normal, as a matter of fact, on Saturday, and wind. Wind's not going to get going until tonight. It'll be a little breezy here and there, but that Gulf of Alaska low is going to start tightening up those pressure gradients big time tomorrow. It's going to be very windy on Friday afternoon and Friday night and Saturday is going to be cold. It's the Gulf of Alaska. It is by definition cold. But today's, if you really like very pleasant, mild but not hot weather, nice light breeze and bountiful sunshine, today's your day. Sunshine is not going to be a problem, but the wind is definitely going to be a problem beginning Friday and going pretty much all the way through till Saturday night. Those details are coming up. Not a lot of news, but we'll get it to you when we get to the news segment. In sports, well, the Mariners' 8-game winning streak came to an end. The Mets took it to them pretty good. A couple of critical errors earlier in the game kind of gave the Mets the upper hand, and they took care of the Mariners. The Mariners are off today. They'll be in Detroit tomorrow. Apple Sox won again. They beat Bellingham, took extra innings, but they did it. We'll talk about that in sports. And a really cool interview. You don't want to miss this. I really enjoyed watching this a couple of days ago. Russ Alman sent it to me, my friend from the Foothills Community Center. I like putting Russ's conversations on this show because I love his shirts. His shirts. He gets away with that look that I can't do that. He talked to Darlene Backlund. Darlene is quite an interesting young woman. An interesting backstory. Darlene is pretty new to the Valley. She's only lived in the Wenatchee Valley for about a year and a half, but she's very active in the community and very active at the Foothills Community Center. Russ had a chance to talk with her. That's cool. You're going to love that. And Rocky the dog needs a permanent home. Rocky the dog is in dog jail. We'll check in with our friends at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Pause for Pets. It's tour time at 2 minutes after the hour. Few clouds to the west of us along the far east slopes of the Cascades, Leavenworth, Plain, Lake Wenatchee. They have some cloud cover. That's really about it. There's the valley proper on this Thursday morning. Sun rose this morning at 5:06. Sunset tonight, 8:53. 15 hours and 46 minutes. We're still gaining a little over a minute of daylight a day. The sun will not come up any earlier than 5:03, but we will see sunsets past 9 in about 10 days or so. The monitor camera chimes in. Good morning to Monitor. I always know that camera because you can see plainly the Monitor Hilton, the Monitor Dome, the Monitor International Airport, the Monitor Visitors and Convention Center, the Monitor Raceway. It's all right there. Good morning to Monitor and Cashmere beyond that, and Dryden beyond that, and Peshastin. Well, you know how it works. You live here, you know. Up to Greens Knob we go as we take a look at the very placid and quiet Lake Chelan area. Not a lot of clouds. I don't see any, as a matter of fact. Up that way, that's Greens Knob. That's quite a ways up Lake Chelan. That's one of the farthest cameras we have going up Lake Chelan towards Holden Village. That's actually pointed down south towards Chelan proper, but that's a ways up there, the Greens Knob camera. And finally, let's see what Lake Wenatchee looks like. And there's the clouds I was talking about. They're kind of hanging around there, although there's no real rain at all in the forecast. I don't know how long those clouds are going to last or what direction they're going, but that's about the heaviest overcast that we have in our viewing area is up in the Lake Wenatchee area, which usually means if it's overcast and cool, mosquitoes around that area, but hopefully that won't be the case. From Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. Not a lot to talk about today. Sunny, mild, pleasant, 76. That's just about normal. Yesterday we hit 74. Our normal is 75. Today is 76. Can't go wrong with that. A couple of clouds tonight. Nothing we can't handle. 52 for the overnight low. Tomorrow morning, going to start out calm. By mid-morning, 9:30 or 10, the winds will be picking up. By Friday afternoon, it's going to be very windy. Sustained winds at 20 miles an hour. Gusts at 30 during the day on Friday. And it's coming down from the Gulf of Alaska, so it is cold air and it's dry air. We're all going to get up to 70. And then very windy all overnight into Friday night. We could even see some stronger gusts on Friday night. So if you're going to the Wenatchee High School commencement exercises tomorrow night, of course it's outdoors. Dress accordingly. It'll get pretty chilly once the sun goes down about 8:50 or so on Friday night. So get ready for some wind, and then look at the temperature. Look at that, 66 if we're lucky on Saturday. Most of the day will be benign, be calm as far as the winds are concerned, but it's going to be chilly. And then we're going to see some wind pick up again. It'll be breezy Saturday night, 45 for the overnight low. So that high temperature and low temperature for that matter on Saturday, well below normal. We warm up a little bit on Sunday, and then another weak system comes through. So the one consistent in all of that is those high temperatures and the low temperatures below normal, with the exception of today. We're going to take a quick break and come back with some news for you. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 Fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether, we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
At Colonial Vista Senior Living, we believe life is meant to be lived fully. Our wellness programs inspire residents to stay strong, flexible, and confident every day. Here, curiosity is encouraged, friendships are nurtured, and every activity is an opportunity to connect, create, and enjoy life together. We invite you to experience the lifestyle at Colonial Vista Senior Living for yourself and discover why so many call our community home.
Very pleasant late spring morning right now. Sunshine, 58 degrees, lots of sunshine, just a little light breeze kicking up here and there. Will be mid-70s anyway. It's going to be pretty nice, but Friday night, and Saturday, below normal temperatures by quite a bit, and a lot of wind, especially tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. It's 8 minutes after the hour. If you're a Chelan County resident and you suffered damage, sustained losses from the December storms and flooding, well, you're running out of time. You got just 1 week left to apply for federal assistance. The deadline next Wednesday, June 10th. That's it. The Federal Emergency Management Agency has already approved more than $8.7 million in claims, 925 applicants in the dozen Washington counties affected by the December floods and windstorms. The SBA, the Small Business Administration, is also offering low-interest disaster loans to individuals and businesses. Same deadline, though, June 10th, next Wednesday. Chelan County alone accounts for about $1.4 million in approved SBA funding so far. If you were affected personally or economically by that atmospheric river event in mid-December, you can apply for federal help online at disasterresistance.gov or sba.gov/disaster. A waterline failure at the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery has forced a scramble to preserve the endangered juvenile salmon and also delayed the start of the fishing season on the Icicle River. The main water line supplying water from the Icicle to the hatchery, it failed last week, and that required managers to relocate more than 1 million young salmon into new hatchery tanks. The water pipeline dates to the 1960s, and hatchery officials say the damage is significant and repairs are going to take some time. The opening of the Chinook season on the Icicle depends on the hatchery being able to collect a minimum of 700 adult fish in order to harvest their eggs. And right now, there are about 550 salmon that have traveled up the hatchery ladder and into the broodstock ponds. A tentative fishing start of May 31st didn't happen, as you might imagine. Natural resource officers from State Fish and Wildlife and the Yakima Nation must make the call on when to open the fishing season. And a motorist reportedly under the influence went off Highway 97A north of Antioch on Tuesday afternoon, took out several feet of fencing along the roadside. The Washington State Patrol says the driver was not seriously injured. No other vehicles were involved. The wreck happened at about 3:10 Tuesday afternoon near milepost 221. Briefly delayed traffic on Highway 97A until responders could clear the scene. The name of the driver, we don't know. They haven't told us yet. What we do know is all the area high schools are commencing to exercise. It's that time of the year, so a friendly reminder, we're going to have about 4.5 hours of non-stop commencement exercising broadcasting. Tomorrow night, we'll start at 6 o'clock for the class of 2026 Eastmont High School's commencement ceremony. We'll have it for you live at the Town Toyota Center, and when that concludes, which usually is right around 8 o'clock, we're right back to leave off the field of the Apple Bowl for the Wenatchee High School commencement exercises. That begins right around 8 o'clock. It'll be commercial free all the way through. It'll be on our YouTube page streaming. It'll be streaming on our Facebook page, of course, right here on television. So don't forget, if for whatever reason you can't make it, or you have a loved one, a family member who wants to see their loved one graduate, but they can't make it here to the Wenatchee Valley for tomorrow night's festivities, they can watch it Eastmont's at 6 o'clock and Wenatchee's to follow commercial free right here on the NCW Life channel. And the news will come your way tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, so I'm told. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock, the NCW Life Evening News. That's on the traditional television viewing times. If that doesn't work for you or you're a cord cutter, YouTube is the place to go. It'll be posted right around 5 o'clock. And don't forget, we are on Roku, we are on Apple TV, I forgot what we're on. It's on the screen right there. And we also have an app. That's what the QR code is for. You see a news tip? Send us an email. Love to hear from you. news@ncwlife.com. The Mariners' 8-game winning streak came to an end, but that's okay. You can't win them all. Sports is next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The NCW Life channel is proud to bring you live coverage of the 2026 commencement exercises for Wenatchee and Eastmont High School on Friday, June 5th. The Eastmont graduation ceremony from the Town Toyota Center will begin at 6 p.m., followed by Wenatchee High's graduation from the Apple Bowl at 8. Coverage courtesy of our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Coverage also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Caldwell Banker Cascade, and Together for Youth. Congratulations to the class of 2026.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Chelan PUD works hard year-round to reduce fire risk and provide dependable service for our customers. But when extreme fire weather is forecasted, we may resort to a public safety power shutoff, turning off power to a specific area in order to prevent fire. In this rare event, we'll keep you informed before, during, and after the shutoff. To stay prepared and check if you're in a PSPS zone, visit chelanpud.org/PSPS.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Quarter after the hour in sports, Bo Bichette had 4 hits. Freddie Peralta looked good. He threw 6 strong innings. Unfortunately, Well, Bo and Freddie, they play baseball for the New York Metropolitans. And the Mets beat the Mariners at T-Mobile Park 7-1 yesterday afternoon. So the Mariners' 8-game winning streak is a done deal. Bo Bichette driving in 3 runs, 2 in the 4th with a broken bat base hit into center field. That broke the 1-1 tie.
Ever ground ball rate. Grounded down to first. Short hop nicely by Naylor, but he throws it away. Bichette will come in with the game's first run, and it's 1-0 New York. Beautiful pitch.
What can't this Mariners lineup do during this 8-game win streak? They're averaging 6 runs a game. They've mashed 1 home run after another. And J.P. Crawford with 9 on the season. This ball is shot deep right center field, and J.P. Crawford starts the game with a bang. Another leadoff home run from J.P. Crawford. Who is this guy? 10 home runs for JP.
He's so strong. I told him that the other day, too.
Now looking to get the Mets the lead. He hits one up the middle. Base hit. In to score is Melendez. Torrens being waved home. Bo Bichette with his 3rd hit of the day drives in a pair. And the Mets go in front 3-1. 1 to right, 1 to left, and this one up the middle to drive in 2.
Those are the type of swings and at-bats that get you ball club and yourself going in the direction that you want.
And Soto takes off. The throw to second base, and he is safe and coming home to score his binge. The Mets pull off a double steal, and it's 4-1 New York.
Old school baseball. I thought he was going to fake it with as good of a jump as Soto got. As soon as Pareda brings it to his ear, he's gone. So a pump fake would have had him, but they decided to take a chance. I am, again, very surprised that Pareda decided to throw it.
After review, the call on the field stands. The runner is safe. Loses her catch.
So the call stands, and the Mets have a 4-1 lead. Rounded down to first, and that's a fair ball off the bag, and the Mets get a break. In to score comes Soto. A pincushion double for Jared Young, and it's 5-1 New York.
Oh, that's just good, clean fun. Right off the bag, into right field for a double. Goes down in the scorecard as a double forever. They don't draw pictures. Nothing you could do about that.
Melendez last one down the line, and that's an extra base hit into the corner. Ewing on his way to 3rd. He's going to be waved around as Relly has trouble digging it out. And Ewing comes home to score. Melendez all the way to 3rd. It's 6-1 New York. MJ Melendez with an extra base hit drives in a run. It's a double for Melendez, getting 3rd on the throw.
We're all going for. We grab these bands and use these yoga machines. So
fly ball out to left. Melendez waiting for it, and the ball game is over. The Mets salvage the finale in Seattle.
Mariners are off today. They will be in Detroit for a weekend series against the Tigers. It'll be a 3:40 first pitch, and Brian Wu will get the start for the Mariners. To the American League West scoreboard we go. The Mariners losing, but they still lead the division. The Cardinals nipped the Rangers. The Athletics beat the Cubs. Took them 10 innings to do it, but they did it. So the Astros beat the Pirates, and the Angels beat the Rockies. So the Rangers and the Mariners were the only 2 teams in the American League West to lose yesterday. Pretty entertaining game. The Knicks were down by 14 at one point, but they came all the way back, and they took home court advantage away from the San Antonio Spurs in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. The final was 105-95, so the Knicks lead the series 1-0. Game 2 is in San Antonio tomorrow at 5:30 on ABC. Exciting game at Bellingham yesterday. They also went to 10 innings, just like a previous game, but the Apple Sox pulled it out. Apple Sox had a lead in the top of the 9th. They led by a run. Bellingham scratched in a run to tie it at 4, but Wenatchee scores on an error in the top of the 10th, and they held on to beat the Bells 5-4. Those 2 teams will play again one more time today at 6:35. Then the Apple Sox will be back in town, and their opening day at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium against Kamloops is tomorrow night. And to the West Coast League scoreboard, it looks something like this. Edmonton over Victoria in a game that took forever to play. Marion nipped Bend. It was Ridgefield over Kamloops 14-12, another monster game. Portland stuck by Port Angeles. It was Nanaimo over Kelowna. Walla Walla got by Corvallis, and the Yakima Valley Pippins beat Springfield in West Coast League baseball. And again, the Apple Sox home opener tomorrow night. Enjoy. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. You can celebrate or commemorate the following holidays today. Today is National Cognac Day. I associate cognac with the holidays. I don't normally drink it any other time. It's Hug Your Cat Day. If we hug any of our cats growing up, the cat would definitely not hug back. National Moonshine Day. Thinking of you, Uriah. But today, no. It's National Cheese Day today. And cheese, as we know it, modern cheese, is only about 400 years old. That's really about it. And we like our cheese, but nothing like the Europeans. The European Union not only is the top cheese producer in the world, they also eat it like you wouldn't believe. We're second, though, in producing cheese. The United States is, not surprisingly. Wisconsin produces the most cheese in this country. The French love their cheese. The average citizen of France will eat about 60 pounds of cheese every year. The average German will eat 53 pounds of cheese every year. We, here in America, we only eat about 34 pounds of cheese every year, so about half of what the French consume. And the most popular cheese in this country, the number one seller, it's not cheddar, it's not American, it's not Swiss, it's Parmesan, probably because we put it on our spaghetti, although I don't really know. Celebrate Cheese Day with a cheese lover in your world. Today in history, a friendly reminder that for a time there, Hitler would let any Jewish citizen in Germany leave voluntarily. If you wanted to leave, go. The problem was most of the rest of the world wouldn't take them, so they didn't have Nazi Germany didn't have a toehold on anti-Semitism. There was enough of it here that the Voyage of the Damned took place on this date in 1939. Again, Hitler was allowing Jews to leave if they wanted to, and a lot of them said, we're out of here. This is on the very cusp of World War II. 963 European Jewish refugees, most of them from Germany, on board the MS St. Louis, crosses the Atlantic, stops in Cuba. Can we get off? Cuba said no. So they sailed up to Florida, and they said, can we get off? And FDR said no. Then they went up to Canada and said, can we get off? Move here. And Canada said no. So the captain had no choice. They sailed right back to where they started, back to Europe. And most estimates say about 300 of the 963 Jewish refugees on board the St. Louis would die in concentration camps. It became a book and a very depressing movie called The Voyage of the Damned, but they were denied permission to land in this country on this date in 1939. We talked about Dunkirk a couple of days ago. The evacuation ended, one of the most remarkable evacuations. Again, you have to wonder what Hitler would have done if he had just pressed on in to Dunkirk in the far western shores of France, but they stopped for a week to rest up and resupply, and in the meantime, whoop, boat after boat after boat from Southampton to Dunkirk and back again, got about 338,000 troops and civilians out of there. That night, Winston Churchill delivered his famous speech to the House of Commons, saying that we will fight on the beaches, we will fight on the streets. That was 86 years ago today. If you want to win a war, especially a big one, you want to capture capitals. And all of the major capitals of all the warring nations in World War II got bombed or destroyed. Berlin, London, Tokyo, certainly. Rome fell to the Allies on this date in 1944. It was the first of the bad guys to see their capital to fall, followed by Berlin and eventually Tokyo, but you're supposed to do that if you want to win a war. And finally, if the Seahawks have a birthday, is it today? It was on this date in 1974 that the National Football League announced that the city of Seattle would be granted an expansion franchise. This was all part of the AFL-NFL merger back in 1970. One of the agreements was that the National Football League had to actively pursue new clubs. And so they did. And the reason that the Seahawks, the primary reason that the Seahawks made it was Ralph Wilson, the owner of the Buffalo Bills. The Bills played at War Memorial Stadium back in the early 70s. It was a decrepit, rotten, stinky place. He wanted the new stadium. Buffalo said no. And Ralph Wilson said, well, they're building a dome in Seattle, and as soon as it's done, I'm moving the Bills to Seattle. So there you go. Buffalo said, okay, we'll build you a stadium. They did. Now they built them another one. And in the meantime, they said, okay, well, Seattle, you get a franchise. It was Seattle. Tampa Bay was first, and then Seattle. By the way, the vote to grant Seattle an expansion franchise was not unanimous, but I don't know who voted no, so you got me. Birthdays. George III, our favorite king. There he is, George III. Got a little tight with the checkbook, and before you know it, there's the United States of America. His war record wasn't bad. He went 2-1 in wars. He beat the French in the 7-Year War, and he beat Napoleon in the Battle of Waterloo. He had a significant role in that, but then, of course, he lost the American Revolutionary War, so he went 2-1 in wars. Whatever. George III of the United Kingdom, who, because of his well, yeah, I would say he was incompetent enough to give us our own country. Born in the state in 1738. And Angelina Jolie, of course, the daughter of Jon Voight, the actress. She has an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. She has a bunch of Golden Globes, and she's a humanitarian activist. Angelina Jolie is 51 years old today. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. They are our platinum sponsor. The heat of summer has come. It hasn't really happened yet. We haven't had any long, hot stretch. You know it's coming because it comes every year. Make sure that your HVAC system is up to the challenge, because we will get to the point where your HVAC system will turn itself on and not turn itself off. You're asking a lot from it. It's not too late to make sure it's all tuned up and ready to go. Alpine Air will go out and take a look at it. Just give them a call. Still to come, an interesting opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. It turns out police officers have dreams, too, about being police officers. A fantastic conversation that Russ, Alman, my good buddy from the Foothills Community Center, conducted with Darlene Backlund. You're gonna love getting to know her. She's pretty cool. But let's bail Rocky the dog out of jail. And you know what? Won't cost you a dime. It's Paws for Pets.
I'm Sakota with the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. I'm the volunteer program manager over here. And today we're showing you Rocky. He is a 7-year-old lovable pup. He loves to play around, play fetch, loves his treats, and loves to go on hikes, car rides, and all those types of things. He did great at Touch a Truck with all the kids and was just loving on all the pets all day long. So he is a dog that might be older, but he has lots of energy still left in him. Would love to go on all the different hikes and car rides and any event that you'd like or anything like that. He'd love to be the only pet in the home to soak up all your love. Just like all of our other animals here, he is already neutered, has all of his vaccines, and is ready for his next adventure. We don't have any information on cats. Yeah, I don't have any information on cats, but he doesn't seem to do good with other dogs or other animals like that, so we would assume that cats would kind of be on that same level. So he's definitely one that would want to be the only pet in the home. Yeah, is that right? Some of the tricks that he knows will be your classic commands like sit. Hey, I know I have treats. Can you sit? So he knows how to sit. He can lay down. And we're working on some other ones. He can shake, he can do a little spin, those types of things. So your classic ones are definitely ones that he'll know. He's a smart boy, so he's very easily trainable. So we've taught him a lot of tricks while he's been here. He's currently one of our longest stay dogs. So he spent a lot of time with us over here learning all the different things. And just a sweet, lovable boy. He is one of our top candidates for doggy dates. We seem to always have someone in here at least a couple times a week taking him out on doggy dates. Some of the things that we have heard back feedback is that he's great on walks, great in car rides, loves to put his head out the window, those kinds of things. But he's just one of our very loved dogs around here, by the community as well, yeah. So if you want to come and meet Rocky, we are going to be open from 12:30 to 6 p.m. every day, 7 days a week. And you can meet him and come and say hi and maybe take him home.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Yeah. You're gonna find your home, huh? Yeah. We're gonna get you a home.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Greetings, Wenatchee Valley from Collins Fashions. We have a beautiful selection of dress wear for your special occasions, and our staff will provide professional and personal service. New spring summer fashions from Joseph Ribkoff, Tribal, Charlie B, Habitat, David Klein, Shayna, Tommy Bahama, and many more. Sundresses, crops, capris, tops, blouses, sandals, and tinnies. Our Brighton selection is perfect gifts for women of all ages. Collins Fashions, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
The 22nd Annual Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival is coming to the Chelan County Expo Center, June 19th through the 21st. This year has 4 national touring bands: Appalachian Roadshow, Southern Legacy, the Rick Ferris Band, and Vicky Vaughn. Enjoy the slow jam and the return of Taylor's Camp. All the details can be found at WenatcheeRiverBluegrassFestival.com.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Well, when I was a cop, I once stopped a local attorney for rolling past a stop sign. When I told him why I stopped him, he argued with me, saying that technically he had stopped because he had slowed down enough to be sure it was safe to proceed, and therefore there was no difference between slowing down and stopping, and I couldn't prove otherwise. So I said I could prove it, that there was a difference, and when he said how, I asked him, please step out of the car. He did so, and with a smirk on his face, I then started immediately hitting him with my nightstick, and I said, now, do you want me to stop, or do you want me to slow down? No, that never really happened, only in my fantasies. But hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion.
Celebrate America at the Real Homes Rock Fest on the last Saturday in June. Great bands including Too Slim and the Tail Draggers and the best Bon Jovi tribute band, Non Jovi. It all happens at the Rock Island Golf Course. Free shuttle service with food and craft vendors and a wine and beer garden. Be prepared for family fun entertainment and live music till the fireworks show. The Real Homes Rock Fest at the Rock Island Golf Course, Saturday, June 27th, 2026.
The NCW Life Channel is proud to bring you live coverage of the 2026 commencement exercises for Westside High School on Tuesday, June 9th. The ceremonies at the Town Toyota Center will begin at 7 p.m. Our live broadcast is made possible by our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. The broadcast is also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Caldwell Banker Cascade, and Together for Youth. Congratulations to the Westside High School class of 2026.
Community is more than just a place. It's the people, stories, and connections we share. At the Wenatchee World, we're your neighbors, your storytellers, and your trusted voice. From uncovering the issues that matter most to celebrating the moments that bring us together. We deliver the stories that keep the community moving forward. The Wenatchee World, your community voice, here every day.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services, including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
Hi, this is Russ Alman, Communications Director at the Foothills Community Center. That's our name now.
Okay, that's right. It's been changed.
And on the road today, I came over to visit Darlene Backlund.
Mm-hmm.
She moved to the area about 1.5 years ago. Has been in a couple of different places. Moved here because she has family in the area, but I was really interested in interviewing her because of some of the pretty amazing athletic competitions that she's been involved in, and I needed to catch her before she left for Antarctica.
Right, I leave in a couple of weeks for a 3-week expedition to Antarctica.
So I guess you got to get there while it's still summer, right? Right. So, Darlene, tell me a little bit about your background. Where are you from? What places have you lived?
Well, okay. The old story, I was actually born in Yakima, but then grew up in Sacramento, New York, and after college moved to Everett, Washington in 1967 and worked for the Department of Social and Health Services as a social worker. Got married in 1970 to John Backlund, and he worked at juvenile court in Snohomish County. We both played adult soccer in the Seattle area, north of Seattle. I did for about 20 years, starting at age 29, because when I was in high school, there were no sports for women. It was long before Title IX was in effect. So anyway, we played soccer in 1993. He retired early at age 53, and I quit work at 48, and we moved into our motorhome, lived in a motorhome for 10 years, traveling around the country. Knew we needed to exercise, and so we started walking. We couldn't get a whole soccer team together as we traveled around, so we could go walking, and he got a hip pointer when running on a crowned road at first, so we started kind of walking fast, power walking. One of our motorhome friends said, Palm Springs has a fast walk, 5K. You guys walk fast, you should go. So in 1996, we went to Palm Springs, did a 5K. He set a meet record, and I set an age group record, and that was almost 31 years ago, and that was the beginning of this is a sport for us. So we started training. We started competing in 2003. We went to our first world competition in Puerto Rico. And then every 2 years, we would go to World Masters competition, Spain, Italy, Finland. It was great. He encouraged me to do longer distances. He says, I think we can do a 30K race walk. And we did. And then he says, I think you could maybe do 40K. And then it was, 50K, which is the longest distance or has been in the Olympics for track and field. And so my first 50K turned out to be, which I did at, I think, maybe 64. And that was in New Jersey. And I knew I was going for an American record and set an American record, got home and learned it was a world record. And so I thought, wow, okay, this is good. So then set 4 age group world records and the 50K. And I continued, I did 10 50Ks. 50K is 31.1 miles, which is 5 miles farther than a marathon, which is 26.2 miles, and a half marathon is 13.1. I did 10 50Ks in hopes that the women would be allowed to do a 50K in the Olympics. Only the men were allowed since 1908. The women never have been allowed to do a 50K. So no longer is there a 50K. And in this next Olympics in LA in 2028, the distance for race walking will be a marathon and a half marathon. So I got to attend the part of the Olympic trials for that distance on January 11th in Santee, California. And I did set a record for the 80 to 84 year age group. And it also turned out doing that, and I did a half marathon, 13.1 miles, and going into that, I also set American records for my age group in the 5K and the 20K. That's the basics.
And so you were kind of showing me, and we're going to take a tour of her medals that she's brought with her to East Wenatchee. But
yes.
So you told me you had a lot more medals before, right?
Right. When we lived in once we started race walking, we started accumulating medals all over the U.S. and the world. We then stopped motorhoming and got a place in Terrebonne, Oregon. And when we left Oregon, actually in 2011, and bought a place in Palm Springs, California, we gave away about 350 medals between my husband and I, and we gave them to the track coach at the high school for them to reuse. And then in Palm Springs, lived there since 2011 until I moved up to East Wenatchee in 2025. It was October of 2024. 24, okay. But found that race walking totally enhanced our retirement, because we met people all over the U.S. As we traveled in our motorhome, we were able to go to races in different parts of the U.S. And then as we traveled around the world for the World Masters, still keep in touch with a very good friend in South Africa who also race walks. It just totally enhanced our retirement. Plus, it kept us healthy. I still take no medication. I've had no surgery since having my appendix out in age 10. So, very unusual.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely evidence that people that keep moving stay healthier.
Yes,
so.
yes, for sure.
And did we want to mention your age?
Yeah, I'm 80. I turned 80 in August. Wow. And 80 is awesome because anything I do, people think I'm amazing. I went skydiving the day after I turned 80. Loved it. I'm able, because of race walking, really, has kept me healthy. I lift weights, I hike, I snowshoe, I do dynamic stretches, static stretches, and just keep moving.
I was going to ask you, are you enjoying the trails and the foothills here?
Love it. In fact, 2 days ago, hiked up Saddle Rock, which was the 11th time I've hiked up Saddle Rock since moving here.
Wow.
So, yes. Yeah. Haven't done much snowshoeing this year, but I did last year.
There's not much snow to snowshoe in right now. Right?
And then I also play ping pong at the Eastmont Community Center every Friday morning. In fact, this morning played 2 hours of ping pong. And in my complex here, we have a ping pong table. And Monday nights, we have a group that plays ping pong here, which, as I've gotten older, decided is a really good sport, just bending over and picking up the ping pong balls.
So you chose East Wenatchee to retire because of family? Because
of family. I have a son who lives in Orondo, he and his wife, and they built a house, so I figured they'd be here a while. And I have a granddaughter and her husband and 3 of my great-grandchildren who live in East Wenatchee, not quite a mile away. And they are fun.
That's great.
Yeah, their ages are 5, 3, and 6 months. So great fun. And another great grandchild in Montlake Terrace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to ask you how you heard about the Foothills Community Center and got involved there.
When I moved up to Wenatchee, I knew I had family here, but I also wanted to make a life for myself. As a widow of 9.5 years, I needed my own activities. And so I thought the senior center would be the Foothills Community Center, which was senior center at the time, would be a great place to meet people. And I went and I met some wonderful people. I played dominoes, hand and foot, and cribbage, went to dances. And then there also learned about the walking group at Pybus every Tuesday and Thursday morning. And I started going there and have met just the best friends who are so supportive, who love to do a number of the outdoor activities, go on hikes. We've, as a group, some of us have taken the free bus up to Chelan and Manson and Leavenworth and had lunch. And so it's really, this is such a wonderful community, at least for somebody my age. And there's so much to do.
Yeah. So I was actually kind of curious, regionally, since you're originally from Western Washington, right? And you mentioned that you were involved with soccer when you were younger. What do you think about the growth of soccer?
It's unbelievable. And I started playing soccer at age 29 when we women formed our own team. There were only 3 women's teams north of Seattle. It was Marysville, Everett, and Snohomish. And it was great. The camaraderie. In fact, I still keep in touch with a number of those that are still alive. At my age, number of friends are no longer here. But very close community. And with the race walking, I find the same thing. It's a community that's unique in and of itself. And here in the valley, well, I much prefer it as opposed to the west side where all the traffic is. And I have a daughter and her husband in Olympia and a son and his wife in Seattle and my other granddaughter. But East Wenatchee and Wenatchee area, the scenery, the river, the Apple Valley Loop Trail. In fact, the reason I live where I do is I'm only 0.4 of a mile from the trail. I'll be very anxious for the walking bridge to be completed because my long walks, I usually do the whole loop for training. And the scenery's fantastic, just unbelievable. And the activities.
You can still get out to Lincoln Rock right now, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it was closed temporarily for the farmers. They had put the gate, but I can go east and can go as far as Lincoln Rock at this point because I'm no longer training for 50K. I'm training mainly for half marathon, which is 13.1 miles. And so to do a 10 or 12 mile workout is all I need instead of the old 20-mile workouts.
So tell me a little bit about Masters.
Masters, okay. USATF, which is the overseeing body for track and field in the Olympics. Now a Masters athlete actually is age 35. There's so many of you out there, once you're 35, you can compete at USATF Masters indoor and outdoor national championships or any Masters competition. There's also what's called senior games. And in senior games, you have to be 50 years old. So, but that's the difference, different overseeing bodies. When we started, we were involved with USATF and found more competition and more races available. And so now I do like the Apple Blossom Festival race. I'll do that, but I race walk it while others are running.
Right.
So, So you ready, Russ, to get into race walking?
just walking would be good again. Yeah.
Okay, good.
With what I do for a living, I do a lot of sitting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And walking, actually, there was an article in the New York Times a few weeks ago about the value of walking and for dementia. And dementia runs in my family. My mother died of Alzheimer's. My brother died of dementia. My 2 older sisters have dementia. My aunt died of dementia. So exercise, diet, sleep, and socialization are all the things to do to prevent getting dementia. And once you're diagnosed, that's the same things that you have to do after diagnosis.
Right. I think that's one of the things we really try to do with our community center too, is the idea is to keep people active, engaged, social.
Right.
And that doesn't, we have things like aerobics classes and Zumba classes, but it doesn't have to be that level of activity to stay active.
Right.
It's going to fit, whatever the individual's capabilities are, but the important thing is to stay active and both physically and mentally, right?
Yeah. And I know actually when I first started going to the senior center, I did participate in the aerobics that were available there. I now do aerobics online with the instructor I had in California. And again, all the different kinds of exercise for me are extremely important. So.
Anything else you want to add that I didn't ask?
Boy, I think I talked a whole. I talked a lot. Race walking, as I said, has totally enhanced my life, and I look at what is the next race that I will do, and then train for it. I try to race walk at least 5 days a week. Try to hike 1 or 2, and fit in the other weights and aerobics in between. The next race I'll do after Antarctica is the Apple Blossom 10K.
Oh, you know what I wanted to ask you is why Antarctica? Where did that come from?
Actually, the first time my husband and I went to Antarctica was in 2002 when our son and his wife invited us, and we went. They were the first sport scuba divers in the Weddell Sea. And we were on a 54-passenger Russian crew icebreaker. And having been now to all 7 continents and 54 countries, Antarctica is still my favorite trip. Being amongst hundreds of thousands of penguins, seeing the seals, the whales, the birds. And in September, I went on a seaborne expedition down the Labrador Sea, and absolutely loved it. We saw polar bears and black bear, and I got to go kayaking and with minke whales that were 10 feet away from our kayaks. And I thought, this is the kind of travel I want to do. So there's this trip to Antarctica, and I want to go back there and go to South Georgia to see the emperor penguins, because the last time we only saw 1. That's why.
Maybe one day we'll have a trip in our travel program.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I know the friends that I walk with, a number of them have gone on the travel program trips through the community center and have had a great time. So, yeah.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you taking the time to do this with me today. And we're going to take a tour.
We're going to take a tour.
We're going to treat this like a little mini museum trip. through the rooms of the house to look at all our medals.
I appreciate that, and thanks, Russ. And it's nice to meet you.
Sure.
And again, the Foothills Community Center really is a great location. And those of you that want to come join us on Tuesday and Thursday mornings behind Pybus, 8:30. Doesn't matter what pace you walk. There, you're up to 20 of us, and you just walk the pace you want to. And then the best part is when we're done, after about an hour, we have to sit and have coffee at Pybus and get that socialization in.
I think there are a couple of people, I don't think any of them are doing wine that early in the morning. But
no, I think they do that later.
Yeah, it's later. That's the later.
Yeah. Okay, Russ.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
The NCW Life Channel is proud to bring you live coverage of the 2026 commencement exercises for Wenatchee and Eastmont High School on Friday, June 5th. The Eastmont graduation ceremony from the Town Toyota Center will begin at 6 p.m., followed by Wenatchee High's graduation from the Apple Bowl at 8. Coverage courtesy of our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Coverage also brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Caldwell Banker Cascade, and Together for Youth. Congratulations to the class of 2026.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
Can't ask for a better morning. 61 degrees. Could be a lot of sunshine today, just a little bit of a light breeze. The big story is going to be tomorrow, the wind and a big time cool down for the weekend. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But first things first, my live read for Pool to Spa Services upgrade. Relaxation with a bullfrog spa from Pool to Spa Services, featuring the exclusive Jetpack therapy system. It's personalized comfort for every seat. Who doesn't want that? Visit Pool to Spa Services on Worthen and check it out. You'll be glad you did. Bring your swimsuit. They'll let you hop right in one of those tubs and take a free one. And of course, the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival is back for the 22nd year. It started out as just a little grassroots organization, a bunch of bluegrass aficionados from our area. So let's have a festival. And it has absolutely exploded into one of the biggest bluegrass festivals to be found anywhere. People come from all over the place to spend the whole weekend at the Chelan County Expo Center and Fairgrounds in Cashmere. Don't forget, if you want to camp and you want the full camping experience, if you want, the water and the sewer and the electricity hookup, all that stuff to make your stay nice and comfortable, that is first come, first serve, and that is on Monday leading up to the festival, which is on the 19th, 20th, and 21st with some top flight talents. One friendly reminder about Eastmont High School's graduation tomorrow. I forgot to mention this at the start of the program. As you know by now, they are doing some remodeling and expanding of the community rink, and so some of the parking spots that are normally there aren't there anymore. They're using it for staging the equipment, and parking is always pretty tight at the Town Toyota Center, especially for Eastmont's graduation. Just keep that in mind for tomorrow if you're going to be there in person at the Town Toyota Center for Eastmont High School's graduation. Parking could be a bit of an issue at the Town Toyota Center. You may have to park at Walla Walla Plain Park and walk up the street. All right, here we go. Weather-wise, it looks something like this. Sunshine, very pleasant, high of 76, or normal high 75. Yesterday was 74, so it's going to be very nice. All sunshine pretty much all day for everybody. Really not a lot of wind to speak of. 52 for the overnight low tonight. Now, tomorrow, the Gulf of Alaska low is really going to press into our region. It's going to do two things. It's going to make things considerably cooler. We're only going to get to 70 on Friday, and the pressure gradients are going to tightening up. And that means a lot of wind, especially Friday afternoon and Friday night. We're going to see sustained winds at 20 miles an hour out of the west in the Cascade Gaps and the Waterville Plateau. Sustained winds of 30, gusts of 30 for the Wenatchee Valley, gusts even stronger than that distinctly possible on Friday night, but it will be exiting the area Friday night. And with that cold air coming in, very chilly and very dry air expected on Saturday. Going to be kind of cool for this time of the year. That's it for us. Have a good and safe Thursday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.